And this is my 1990 Rover 827 Sterling, which was the top of the range of the 800 model. The 827 being the 800 and the 2.7 V6 Honda engine, and in my opinion, the best engine fitted to any Rover 800 model. The briefest of histories. Whilst in development, the Rover 800 was called Project XX, and it was released to the public in July of 1986. When first introduced, you could get a 2-litre engine, but the top of the range had the 2.5-litre Honda V6. And it wasn't until February 1988 that the engine was then enlarged to the Honda 2.7 V6. When first introduced, they had slimmer bumpers, and they're commonly referred to as the Mark 1A. In 1989, that saw the introduction of the bigger bumper model, of which my car is, and that was termed as the Mark 1B. And then in late 1990-91, there was the run-out model, which saw further revisions, and that's commonly referred to as the Mark 1C. The car was bought back in September 1998, and we've owned it now for 26 years. And it's been a lovely car to own, and it's provided very good service indeed. I remember very well going to see the car with my dad and how we enjoyed haggling with the dealer. Between us, we felt as though we had the dealer on the back foot, and eventually we wore him down until we actually got the deal that we wanted. We often used to look back on this with fondness, and we really enjoyed that day. So you'll see the logo on the door which says Sterling. This wasn't an original feature. They were normally just two-tone paint, and somebody's added this decal at a later date. I've never seen another one like it, and I've always wondered where it came from. And now you'll probably think it's similar to the Vitesse models that they used to have on the old SD1 Rovers, and they used to have a Vitesse across the doors. And I don't know whether or not somebody thought they would do a similar thing. When we first viewed the car, my opinions of the logo on the door, the bottom, were, I'm not sure about that. But to be honest, it was a small price to pay for what was a lovely car, and it would have been a shame to have missed it for that. But like everything else, it hadn't been owned by us for long before we got to love it, because it made the car more of an individual, and it just that little bit more special to us. I remember the first time I drove it, I felt like a king. And the steering, which is speed-sensitive power steering, when you took it into a car park, it was just so light, you could literally turn the wheel on one finger. And the automatic sports gearbox, fantastic. And boy, could it get up and go. And it, as I say, I can't praise this car enough. It was fairly easy to determine the top of the range Sterling model from the other 800 models, because the Sterling was the only one that came with two-tone paint. And my car is finished in Asia Blue Metallic, a lovely light blue metallic. And the lower half is in gunmetal, which is a dark grey metallic. Now, that said, most of the Sterlings were two-toned, but there were certain models which you could have specified as just a monotone. Black obviously was one of them, and I think pearlescent cherry red, if memory serves me right. Now, in the colour combination of my car, Asia Blue, you tended to find that the interiors were a light grey, flint, I think they called the colour. But my car is fitted with the much rarer Prussian blue leather, which I think suits the car really well. I've seen other YouTube videos and people say, oh, it's blue interior, but I like it. I've always liked it. And that's all that really matters. There is so much more I could actually tell you about this car and about the 800 range. And I don't care what anybody says about Rover 800s. Lots of people will knock them. This car has been marvellous. And it's been in regular use until the last couple of years. It hasn't failed in MOT. It's just not been MOT'd for the last couple of years. But it does now need some work because unfortunately time has caught up with it a little bit. If you would like to know more about it, if you'd like to see some more up-to-date images of the car, and perhaps I'll give you a little tour of it and show you some of the features, then let me know and maybe I'll put a video together. But until next time, I'd just like to say, well, thanks for watching and take care.